Howdily diddly neighbors, it is your boy, Kuroyuki ESO, and I'm back. I've been away for like a month and a half now. I know, it's crazy. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I missed you. Hope you're all doing great, having a fantastic day today. I'm back though, I promise. I'm going to start uploading and streaming again more frequently. Just been going through some stuff. I went through a move. I'm living with a roommate currently who's actually passed out a couple feet to my right now. So if you hear him snoring, I promise it's not me. At least I don't think so. You never know. Anyway, before we hop into the build, I would like to go ahead and plug my new Discord. It's going to be a little community hub for me to talk about whatever is going to be going on my channel, take requests, talk to people, post notifications when I decide to stream, all that kind of stuff, good stuff. It's also going to be a little hangout spot for all of us nerds, talk about ESO, other games, other MMOs, anime, TV, whatever the hell you guys want to talk about. So if you're interested in joining that and talking to me and some of my friends and just anyone out there that wants to come hang out, that link will be in the description as well as the pinned comment. Now the build, this is a Stamina DK build. Yes, another Stam DK. I've been loving Stam DK lately. Don't get on my ass about it. Anyway, Markarth solo PvP. It's a pretty fun setup. It feels pretty old school. I got old sets, old play style. Really loving it. Super strong. Lots of damage. Lots of healing. Lots of sustain. Lots of bulk. Very fun to play, and I think you guys will love it. So I'm going to stop teasing you guys. Let's get into the sauce, and let's check out this build. Alright, let's go ahead and dive into the build. Gonna buff up, at least as much as I can. I did use the pot, right? I think so. Okay. On the back bar here, or the sword and board bar, we've got 27.5k HP, 32.7 stam, 4k weapon damage, 30k resist, 3000 crit resist, 2k health recovery, and 1700 stamina recovery. You may think the damage looks a little low. It does go a little higher when we're in combat based on some factors, and honestly even just the 4k is enough on this build because it does pump out a whole lot of pressure, and we've got our ways of dealing with problems. So yeah, all points into stamina naturally, and we are a Nord. We are using Sugar Skulls, and I am using the Serpent. You could go with Artaeum Takeaway Broth and Warrior, pump out more damage if you want to, but I do think the extra Magicka really helps on this build, but I'll talk about some ways to address that when I hop over here to the armor in just a second, and by just a second I mean right now, so let's do this. Set on the two-handed bar, I have 7th Legion. If you don't know what 7th Legion does, it is weapon damage, health recovery, weapon critical, and when you cast an armor ability, you gain 341 weapon damage, as well as 341 health recovery for 15 seconds. So this set's given us about 500 health recovery, helps keep that health recovery nice and high, gives us a pretty solid hot, very helpful to have that bonus healing over time without even having to really think about it, just kind of there. It's super nice, especially with the nerf to Defile and the nerf to Mending, so that's not affected by Mending, it never was, so it's just additional healing that we don't have to really think about, that isn't being reduced as much by, Necros and all that nonsense. I'm using a Maul Nirnhoned with weapon damage enchant. I'm using a Nirnhoned because I'm using Rally as my heal, my burst heal. If you are not going to use Rally, which I'll talk about in a minute, then go with Sharpened for more damage, and weapon damage enchant is optional. I've tried Shock, I've tried Disease, and now I'm just trying weapon damage. I think Disease might be my favorite because the extra Defile is pretty helpful. So yeah, Fury, or whoops, spoilers, 7th Legion, Nirnhoned, weapon damage, Maul, big boy damage, there we go. And yeah, Fury is on the sword and board bar only. Now I know some of you are going to be like, what are you, fucking stupid? No, trust me, we sit on the sword and board bar 90% of the fights. So it stacks up really naturally, it's not like a big deal. Every now and then you'll lose stacks because you change to your 2H bar and you go a little too hype on people. But it's not a big deal. I promise you, it's very consistent. If you've seen my last DK video, you know that it works pretty damn well. But yeah, if you don't know what Fury does, health, stam, weapon damage, and when you take damage, you gain weapon damage. It doesn't stack as high as it used to. Definitely got a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot of bit of a nerf, but it's still pretty solid. I prefer this over things like Clever Alchemist, just because I like the 2, 3, 4 better. The extra stam and the extra weapon damage just gives us that consistent output of weapon damage at all times. You could do Clever Alchemist if you want. If you want to have more health and have a tighter burst window. But I just like this, it's consistent. But what I would actually really want to try out, which I haven't gotten already yet, is I actually want to do Powerful Assault here on the Sword and Board bar. It has the same 2, 3, and 4 piece, and whenever you cast an Assault ability, i.e. Vigor, you and up to 5 group members within 10 meters gain 300 weapon and spell damage for 10 seconds. Now, if you are not using Vigor once every 10 seconds, you're playing the game wrong, first of all. And yeah, if you are, that means you're going to have this nice 300 weapon damage up 100% of the time. And if you're in a group, they'll get it too. And it swaps between bars. It's not like a new moon or anything like that. That's just, you know, constricted to one bar. This will carry over, so it's really nice. It's not quite as high as a fully stacked Fury, but it's 100% uptime. So that alone is a boon. And I definitely really appreciate it. I want to try it out. I don't have the pieces yet, but that's definitely my recommendation. So Fury, if you've already got it, and if you can afford it, Powerful Assault's kind of pricey right now, and I just don't have the transmutes to do all this nonsense. But yeah, when it comes to the weapon, doesn't matter which one it is. I'm using Nirnhoned because all of my healing is on the back bar, or at least my main healing is. So you want to be able to get that weapon damage as high as possible to keep your healing higher. The shield is reinforced. I would prefer to have a sturdy shield, but I am unlucky and also do not have transmutes, so I'm using reinforced for now. With a stamina enchant, I like to use stamina on the back bar just because it ensures that we have a little bit of extra slapping power on the back bar, you know, because stamina, it increases your damage, yada yada. So it's a nice, like, almost like a 80-90 weapon damage boost just from having this here, so it's really nice. I also have double dot poisons on here. I'd say these are essential because the 2 extra dots, first of all, help out a whole lot when it comes to pressuring people, because this build is based around dot pressure. And it can also be really bursty, because when the poison applies, it applies the first tick of both of these individual poisons here at the same time. So if you do a light attack into your skill, into your bash, and then these proc, that's 5 different ticks of damage hitting all at the same time, and it can definitely chunk some health bars if they aren't, like, ready for it. I've seen it take 50% of some people's health before, just from one quick little cancel. So definitely you want these. Definitely want these. And yeah, monster set. We are using Bloodspawn. This is a 2 medium because all of our sets are heavy, and I do like to have 2 medium just to help out the Stam sustain. If you don't know what Bloodspawn does, gives Stam recovery. When you take damage, you gain ultimate and you gain armor. This helps us be tanky and helps us absolutely shit out ultimates when you combine it with Nord and the fact that we're a DK and they have pretty solid ult generation already. So yeah, just being able to have an ultimate on demand every 15-20 seconds is super helpful, especially when you're outnumbered, so I definitely recommend Bloodspawn. You can, however, use Troll King, because, like I said before, there was a nice buff to health recovery, and with this you'd be at like almost 4k health recovery, and that'll keep you alive very, very nicely, so it's definitely a good option as well. These two are the only two I would really consider. I guess you could do Malabeth, but the healing, what's the buff called? Vitality. It got nerfed, so it's not as good. But yeah, these two, Engine Guardian works as well, I guess. If you're in a group, you could even go with Balorg for more damage. But these two for solo are the ones I recommend. I prefer Bloodspawn, Troll King, Broken, both of them really good. Now, I do have the 7th Legion chest, the girdle, and the gauntlets here. So that's my 5 7th Legion. Then I have 2 Fury on the legs and the feet, and the jewelry are both Fury as well. So that's 6 Fury when we are on the Fury bar. So that means when we go to the 7th bar, and 7th is active here, as you can see, that means we have the 4 piece of Fury still active, so we get that extra weapon damage on the front bar. You want to do the 6 pieces of Fury, not 6 pieces of 7th, because that weapon critical is a lot less useless on your back bar. For jewelry, obviously Fury infused, and then Malakath's band. This is what makes this build do what it does. Lets you put out a whole lot of pressure with your dots, and it also makes our relatively light hitting spammable hit pretty consistently high. So it's very nice. It does keep us from critting, but it's okay, because as you saw, we have 16% crit chance anyway, so it's entirely irrelevant. It just means we won't hit those big boy crit leaps, but you will survive without them, I promise. So yeah, all infused with weapon damage to pump big boy damage. All of my armor does have stamina enchants on them. If you want to push out some extra health or extra magicka, you can put as many triglyphs on as you want to. If you were going to go with the Artaeum Takeaway Broth with Warrior Mundus Stone like setup, I'd actually recommend going all triglyphs just to make sure you have a pretty solid amount of magicka and health to just keep you going. Definitely really nice. They are all M-Pen. I would not recommend all M-Pen. I just have all M-Pen at the moment because I do not have transmutes, as I have said 6 or 7 times now. It is definitely better to have sturdy shield and then 3 or 4 sturdy on the body, and then maybe, I don't know what people are using these days, probably still keep a couple M-Pen just to give you that M-Pen value, maybe a reinforced chest for more armor. But other than that, the most important thing about the build is you want 4 or 5 sturdy to help you reduce block cost, because this build is a blocking machine. You want to be able to block. That's how you stay alive. But yeah, for the sets, that is it. Let's go ahead and hop over to the skills that I'm using. On the 2H bar here, since that's where we started, we have Rally as our burst heal. Now you could do 4 momentum and use Cauterize as your burst heal instead. Either one, you do want to have that mobility. We are getting mobility through a different skill. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is a choice thing, just a preference kind of deal. So make up your mind here. Do you want Rally or do you want Cauterize as your burst heal? Also, it gives us weapon damage boost and minor endurance, which got buffed. So more stamina recovery. Everyone loves that. Noxious Breath. This is our dot as well as our armor debuff. It does hit respectably hard before Fury procs, 8,000. Remember, it's an AoE, so that's an 8,000 AoE direct damage with the 14,000 dot afterwards. Obviously, you have the 25% from Malakath on there. You're going to be making people cry. It's very nice. Volatile Armor. You can do either one of these. Both of the side effects of it are not that great. The reason that I use Volatile is because extra dot. Who doesn't want an extra dot, even if it is piss poor? And it also can reveal Might Blades from stealth if they are spamming stealth. So I really like that. Keeps them on their toes, you know, doesn't let them get away. You could use the shield version just to be a little beefier, and by little I mean very minuscule amount beefier, but that's up to you. Again, it's a preference thing. Executioner. Either of these morphs work, but Executioner is much better at putting down a single target, which I feel this build is better suited to as opposed to trying to cleave whole groups. But again, you know, preference. I like this one because it makes people go ouch really fast. Venomous Claw. This is another really strong dot. Let's go ahead and buff up again so you can see the tooltip on that. Again, without Fury, with that weapon damage enchant, that's 18k over 14 seconds, and every 2 seconds the damage increases by 20%. So if you let this tick on someone and they don't do anything about it, they're going to be hurting really bad when they are not ready for it. And those last like couple seconds too, it's nasty. So yeah, this is really fun to use. It applies poisoned automatically, so that is yet another dot that we have on people, unless they are a Wood Elf or an Argonian and are immune to the poison status effect, because fuck them. But, you know, it is what it is, so that's an extra status. That status effect is an extra dot, and it also gives us back stamina, so very helpful. And then ultimate, obviously, Take Flight, because it's Take Flight. This crushes skulls. You could use Dawnbreaker of Smiting. It would actually fit into this build really well because of the dot, but I just do not have it leveled. I have not bothered picking it up on this DK, but I definitely would recommend giving it a try and seeing which one you like better. They are both valid options. I like Take Flight because it lets me soar across the map to chase down that sniper that is poking me in the ass and put him in the dirt. So yeah, big booms. Back bar, and by back bar I mean front bar more so. Resolving Vigor. Obviously this is our heal, main heal. Super easy to get now with the changes to the Alliance stuff that have been here for like a month and a half now, and I just haven't played. Race Against Time. Now this is where I was talking about your options come in. You can either use Race Against Time or Forward Momentum for your mobility. Race Against Time I like better because it gives us movement speed, but you could also swap in the Cauterize here for an extra heal burst heal, as well as a persistent, kind of heal over time thing, and then have, rally to be forward momentum to give you that snare immunity. Both of these are very valid options. I just prefer the movement speed way of playing. I like to be able to get out of situations quick if I don't want to be in them. But I feel like overall the cauterized playstyle might actually be just a bit tankier up front. But yeah, and actually, if you do it this way and you have rally, then you can just swap in cauterize when you're in town, and you'll have a broken dueling build because you'll have vigor, cauterize, and rally for your heals, because you don't need movement in duels really. So that's another reason I like it. Reverb Bash for our stun. This actually hits quite hard, about a 10k tooltip when buffed up, so it can take people by surprise. Can also proc those poisons for a very nasty surprise. It doesn't cost too much, hits hard, it's close, it's fast, super nice stun, and it also trips people up when it comes to breaking it because they can never break it for some reason. So very nice stun, great, fast, you don't have to worry about dizzy swinging someone and then trying to get a heavy attack off or any of that nonsense. Fragmented Shield. The shield part of this is useless, but the major mending that it gives is awesome. You're definitely going to want to drop a frag shield, then hit a vigor, swap over, pop that rally, you are not dying. And it also gives back a little bit of stamina when you use it because of DK passives. It's a great skill. Use it. And Deep Slash. Either more for this works. Heroic Slash doesn't hit as hard and is single target, but it helps you generate ultimate faster. But this one is AoE, which I really like. Hits a little bit harder, and they do share the effect of reducing movement speed by 30% of everyone that you hit, and applying Minor Maim, making them deal less damage. Now, Minor Maim took a big nerf from 15% to 5%. This used to make us super tanky, but now not quite as much, but we're still doing fine. Don't have to worry about it too much. But yeah, I like this one. AoE hits everybody, debuffs everybody around you, so it can make it a lot more manageable of a fight. And then for our Sword and Board Ultimate, I have Corrosive Armor right now. I do also really like Spell Wall, all the clips I'm using Spell Wall. I'm actually not using Spell Wall, I'm using the pre-morphed version because I just now morphed this. But I just threw on Corrosive Armor earlier today, and I think I'm gonna keep it because this makes us basically unkillable and lets us poke right through everyone's defenses. So one or two of these boys right here and you'll take a 35k HP Stam Warden who's not paying attention down to 2 HP and finish him off real quick. But if you want to, obviously Spell Wall is here to make you absolutely impervious, reflect snipes and stuff. I like this a lot because it's cheap, you can spam it and it'll help you stay alive. It's a really strong ultimate for that reason. I do recommend giving it a try. Use both of these, figure out which one you like better. You could also use Temporal Guard, but with the nerf to Minor Protection, I don't really see the point to do it anymore. It's good, but it's not great. So yeah, those are the skills. Real quick look at the potions that I keep on hand on this character. I keep Tripods. I've got a bunch of these crappy ones just because why not. I keep Detect Pots because you want to be able to find those Night Blades. I keep Tripods, again, the real Tripods this time. And I also do keep some Lingering Health Pots because, honestly, sometimes the only way to get through a situation is to pound that fucking healing, and these do that for you. Definitely very helpful in tight situations, although the uptime is kind of dog shit, so use it at your peril, but they can help you get through some tight stuff. And alright, quickly go over the champion points. My champion point set out is not the best. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but just look at it, copy it, or adjust it if you feel like you can do better. Up to you. Feel free to take some of the points out of the healing and putting them into damage if you like. But the healing is definitely nice. And yeah, that pretty much does it for the build. I think that's everything. We got skills, we got champion points, we got armor, got buffs, I've got all that stuff, right? Well, I guess that means it's time to go ahead and hop on over to the clips. I'll see you there in just a moment, folks. Alright, diving into the first clip here. Forewarning, none of these clips are really all that impressive, considering I am pretty damn rusty, and I've only been playing this build like a day and a half. So, yeah. Anyway, first one starts off with me being extremely petty and just chasing this guy that's trying to run away. I hit him with the dots, try to make him fall off his mount, which he does there, and now I'm just after him. I'm on him, I'm chasing him, alright? I get here, I pop the pot, so I got some juice to fight him. I expected a fight. No, he didn't even heal himself. He just goes down like a sack of potatoes. It's over. So, I go over here to, again, decide to be a little extra petty. I was going to walk away. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send him a whisper. I wasn't sure what I was going to whisper. It might have been something petty. It might have been something like a good fight, you know? Who knows? But here I am, trying to send this guy a whisper, and then I see some more running up on me. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me change back to my race against time. Catch the 3 different lightning staff heavy attacks, realize, okay, so this is about to be an easy fight, which it was. There is one healer, but he's not the best. I go ahead and put my dots into these guys, just testing out, seeing which one's the squishiest. This guy almost dies from literally nothing, so I hit him with the leap, crack his skull, and he is dead. Now, the healer decides to go into overdrive and actually start healing, so I put some pressure into him, but he's got the choke thorn on him, so I can't really do much. So I'm just kind of swapping between targets here, seeing who's squishier. This guy's pretty damn squishy, so I'm just kind of hoping that I can burst him down before he catches any heals. Luckily, the healer decides to pull an MLG move and start rezzing the dead guy instead of keeping his friend alive, and lets me kill him. So now it's just me and the healer. Naturally, we know what's going to happen. This guy's only 674 CP, and he's a lukewarm healer at best, so I'm just going to sit here, rotate on him a little bit, put the dots up, slap him around, hit him with the reverb into the heroic slash bar swap cancel into the execute, and then honor the dead. Second clip here is another 1v3, but this one I actually had to turn my brain on a little bit. I've got a warden with the venomous smite on, and he is spamming his what's it called? You know, the major protection ultimate every time it's up. There it is. And then I've got 2 pet sorks, and I am annoyed as shit. Pop the defensive ult theirs to try to keep some of this pressure on me because I've got like 5 pets hitting me. I'm inside of a northern. It's cancerous. But just keep my mobility up. Try to keep the heals rotated. Make sure I've got my rally up at all times. I don't have it up right here because I'm a fool. As you can see, I'm at 20 stacks of Fury. Like I said before, don't worry about it. Fury will be up. So that is just proof. Watch those Fury stacks during these fights, boys. You'll see that I'm not crazy. But I noticed the Warden is actually low CP, so I immediately insta-dunk him, break his neck, and he is done for. So, or she, I'm sorry. I should really watch my pronouns. Anyway, I've still got the Venomous on me. That's a little bit annoying, so I'm just going to try to heal. This guy tries to res, give him the quick bash, tell him no, slap him on the wrist a little bit. And, yeah, now he's going to go into the overload spam, so I got to be defensive a little bit, because those do tickle quite a bit. The other guy just kind of running around with like a chicken with his head cut off, not really doing much to help. I'm going to watch this body to make sure they don't try to res it. I would chase that guy, but that would leave this one here to res. That might actually have been their plan. I realized right here that this guy is the squishier one, so I do try to focus him when I get the opportunity to. But as you'll be able to see here, half the time I can't see what the hell I'm hitting because of all these fucking pets. The guy, again, is at low health, so I'm going to try to kill him, but I don't really have enough juice to commit to it right there, otherwise I would have been able to put him down. But his friend is also spamming chicken heals on him, being a total dickhead. So, I'm just doing what I can, staying alive, make sure the pets don't whittle me down. This guy is bashing over and over. He's probably got no stamina. As you can see, he slowly stood up there, so clearly that guy is the weak link, so I'm going to try to focus on him, get my dots up on him. Pull back, there's now a fucking Atronach, like what, this is ridiculous, these guys, dude, pet sorks, especially when they team up, they are the most annoying thing in the world. If you play a pet sork, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you, but honestly, kill yourself. Poison's proc on this guy, put the pressure in, almost kill him, but he manages to get away. Chicken heals come in clutch, almost kill him again, but the chicken heal spam is relentless, so I just cannot catch a break. Another Daedroth is up, spam me with fire. Put the pressure on this guy, just make sure the dots are up, accidentally claw the chicken, and that's not helpful. So, just gonna head back upstairs, rotate the heals, get all the buffs up. These guys are gonna go back outside, maybe they're trying to run away, not sure. This guy is now dotted up. I'm gonna walk away to get some line of sight between me and those crystal frags. See, this guy's not healing himself, gotta leap, drop it on him, break the neck, he is done for. Now it's just me and the second chicken sork. And he is no big deal when his friend is not healing him. We both roll at the same time. Luckily, I recovered faster, crack his neck with the execute, and it is over for him. So this next one is a little bit of duo action. I'm just kind of put it in here to show you how bulky this build can be. As you can see, I jumped off into something I probably shouldn't have jumped off into. Pop the sword and board ult, try to get back inside. Game decides it doesn't want to let me do it, so I'm like, alright, cool. I'll just get the hell out of here. Use my my movement speed buff to bounce as fast as I can. Look at those fury stacks, boom, maxed out. Like I said, watch the fury stacks, boys. They do work on back bar, I promise. Now, instead of going inside the door, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna fight these guys. Immediate regret as I get a Zon, I get minor vulned, I get proc sets, just constant proc sets. I'm getting hit by ranged guys. My friend comes down, we quickly pop that guy, the dots, and my friend's damage, kill him. Now, I'm still just getting focused. I'm getting hit by ultimates, procs, everything's going off, but I'm just staying alive. Luckily, they're focused on me and not my teammate, so that is kind of a waste of time. I'm healing, popping these sword and board ults when they come up, blocking, everything's keeping me alive. Another sword and board ult, pop the pot with a roll dodge and head to my safety tent over here to hide from these molesters. I'm waiting for my teammate, but I realize there's only the one guy here. Come out to engage him, he immediately stuns me, kind of ruins my life. So now my teammate is here, so it's time to engage. Teammate's really weak, so I bash this guy, stun him real quick to make sure he doesn't put more pressure on my friend. We go in here, heal up real quick, and then I come outside and start putting the dots on. People realize there's a weakling over here and try to leap him, but I leap the wrong guy. Luckily, the weakling doesn't heal himself, so I hit him with a stun and the neck breaker. He is dead. Now I am getting focused pretty hard again, low health, so I turtle up, hit the blocks, hit the heals, back to full, doing good. This guy just takes a shit ton of damage out of nowhere, catches the leap, he is done. Now the last guy decides he is going to be a valiant fighter and run away as fast as possible. We don't allow that. We are quick boys. We chase him down. He catches the toxic barrage, catches the dots in the back, and my friend just pokes him with the bow until he is dead. And that is the end of that fight. Alright, next fight is the same fight pretty much, just a few minutes later. Same friend of mine. We're just outside of the keep, cleaning up some people coming in, going out, because we don't really want to fight inside the keep because there's about 400,000 people in there, and it is not fun. Yeah, we may just 2v1 that guy, but he'd do it to us too, you know. Sometimes you just gotta take your L's. See this guy over here with, what was that, like 36,000 HP? So yeah, he's gonna be a target. Just trying to clean him up real quick with this friendly warden. Friendly warden totally whiffs the fucking, the Dawnbreaker there. Sad news. He goes inside, he feels defeated after missing his ult completely and decides he's going to pull out. He doesn't want to be involved in this fight anymore because he is emasculated. This guy dies. I didn't even put damage into him. My friend just shot him to death, so that was fun to watch. Now I took a Dawnbreaker. I took Blast Bones. I'm taking a vampire drainy thing. I'm getting changed, so hit that that sword and board ultimate to defend myself. Follow this guy that's weak, try to put damage into him. It's okay. Friend's shooting him in the asshole, and he is dead. Now we're going to avoid that tank and just try to hit anybody else who might actually die. See, there's a level 18 here, so we go ahead and put the damage into him, hit him with the deep slash, bash, animation cancel combo into the executes. He's done. Again, tank is just up here being annoying. SMG fighter's taking some damage here, so we decided we're going to focus on him because he's not doing too well keeping himself alive, and they don't have any healers. So turn around, SMG fighter's still low. Hit him with the Noxious to debuff him, hit him with the leap and the executes. He is done for. Blue guy jumps in, don't know what he's doing because he just jumps right the fuck back out. Bash that res real quick, realize this guy has 400 CP, free kill. We're going to take that real quick, hit him with the execute, done for. I'm just going to block all this stuff here, avoid getting killed. Not that these guys could do it anyway. There's that DK we 2v1'd earlier, and now we are going to 2v3 him. Finish him off. Well, maybe not finish him off, but dot him up, hit him with the poisons, hit him with the Noxious, hit him with the claw, hit him with everything. He is our new target, so we are going to put everything on him. He's getting hit with the toxic barrage. Very hard for him to recover from that until he does. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Not everyone is brain dead. Templar is riding my friend's ass, so he asked for a little bit of help there, so we're going to change focus to the Templar, who is actually quite squishy, catches the heavy leap into the executes, and he cannot recover. Now it is just these two, the tank and that DK again. He came for redemption, but what he got instead was more defeat. He is dead, and now it is just me, my friend, and this tank. And this tank actually does a really good job of staying alive and fighting us for quite a while, but in the end he does die. I think we get a friendly sniper to come up here and start blasting away while we're blasting away as well, and in the end he succumbs to his wounds and dies. So while we're fighting him, I just want to go ahead and say thank you for watching this video. This is the last clip that I'm going to commentate. After this clip, I'm just going to roll some duels with some music for you guys to enjoy if you were curious to see what this build is like dueling. And yeah, that's about it. Like, comment, sub if you loved it. Leave a dislike if you hated it. And I'll see you guys later.